Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Boosted Motorsports. My name is John, and today's video I'm going to update you guys on a few things. I have a few things that showed up, do a bit of housekeeping with you guys, let you guys know what is going on. I know I post a lot of videos, so from time to time I like to do these videos for you guys, get you guys caught up to speed on all the projects, where we're at, what you guys can expect to see, and all that stuff. If you guys are stopping into the channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell. You guys can be notified of all latest videos. If you like cars, trucks, modifying things, performance, and do it yourself and learning and seeing how it's done, definitely click that subscribe button. And before we continue, hit that like button so that YouTube knows that this channel is pretty cool and they can share it with other people too. All right, let's get straight into it. What we're going to do on this video is, first things first, not the most exciting thing, but it is something to do with some of the cars. This seal, I don't know if you guys can tell what this is for. Funny story behind this seal. It's for the S2000, which we're gonna put on in just a second. I lost this seal when we went to the track. One of our buddies was hanging out of the car, taking roller shots of some of the other vehicles that we were with, and in the process, ripped this off and it went away. And I've been trying to find the seal forever. I don't think Honda actually sells it individually, so I managed to find somebody to send it to me, and they sent it to me for 20 bucks shipped, and I'm kind of happy about it because it's been missing for a while. So let's pop that on. I also have a package that just showed up from ROE Racing, so I want to share with you guys what that is. And I'll also talk more about the Dakota RT, where we're at with that, what's the game plan with it, as well as the Viper and all that stuff. And I have a bunch of stuff, you guys. I even have stuff for the Ram. So I'll keep you guys up to date. Let's pop this sucker on and we'll continue this video. Okay, so this is the seal, like I mentioned, you guys, and this is gonna fit in here, something like that. So let's go ahead and pop this door open and get this thing on here so that I can finally not have spiders and all that fun stuff in the car. It's kind of weird the way this thing sits on. It just tucks into that little channel like this, I guess, and you just push it up in here. I guess it fits in like this and then tucks in there. I guess, let me fiddle with it. Aha, I see how it works. So it hooks and then it goes in and under like that. And that's how she stays in. Okay, not the most exciting little project, you guys, I promise. Promise this video will get more interesting than this. Just give me a minute, bear with me, because you don't know how essential this was, I'm telling you. The wind noise, washing the car, it was a pain having to always seal this up. Boom, so there we go, she's done. Okay, window seal completed. And since we're on the subject of the S2000, you guys may or may not know, I am currently listing this for sale. I'm gonna try to sell it. I'm not gonna give it away, but if you guys haven't seen, I'm trying to kind of cash out on this car. We've spent a ton of time, ton of money, and a lot of hours have gone into this thing, completely restoring the car. As you can see, it looks, you know, it looks like $1 million compared to it ever has or ever did before. And we're gonna see if we can maybe cash out of it. If not, we'll keep it as a track car and prep it as such. But I'm kind of trying to see if I can move some resources around, and if I can get rid of this, then that leaves us with just these three, and it should free up some funds to be able to do some other cool things. So let's continue and I'll talk a little bit more. If you guys haven't seen the last video, we did the pinion angle correction on the rear end of this thing, and I know some guys were asking me what the sizes are. If you guys didn't see the Viper wheel how-to video, check out that video. It's like a couple videos ago. I go into full details on the specs on these wheels, and the tires are just stock tires, stock size tires for that year. So, you know, Gen 3 Viper stock wheels, so you guys can Google those specs and the stock size tire. So really not that much to see there, and I told you guys what size spacers I use, so check out those videos if you guys are interested in that subject. As far as other stuff goes, let's talk a little bit more about the blue Dakota, and then I'll go on to the Viper and I'll open that box from ROE Racing as well. So on the Dakota, what we're doing with this truck right now, I'm kind of on the fence with when and how long from now we're gonna end up putting the supercharger back on. It is going to ultimately happen. I'm just, if you guys remember the last experience, it didn't go so well, and this thing is running, you know, good. It's not crazy fast, but I do want to get to the track with it for you guys, so I think I'm gonna leave it naturally aspirated. It's not like gonna shatter any records or anything, because really the only thing in it is just bolt-ons and a cam and the intake. So if I were to guess, it's probably in the 13s somewhere. That's kind of what it feels like. But again, you know, it's not gonna shatter any records necessarily. So what I'm trying to decide is if we end up selling the S2000, this is going to be by default my daily driver. Viper's not going to be my daily. This isn't going to be my daily. So this is going to default as my daily. So depending on if that happens, if we sell the S2000, I promise there's going to be some exciting stuff if that gets going and gone. But I'm going to have to make sure that this is somewhat reliable so I can get around, of course. So that's kind of the situation with that. But at the same time, it's not a bad situation because I do, like I said, want to get to the track the way this sits for you guys so that you guys can, you know, see how quick or not quick it is in its current state. So just got a couple more, you know, small details that I want to work out with Ryan on the tune. But overall, this thing is ready to go. And, you know, there is a rear main seal that I'm going to have to order and do on this. But, I mean, it's not like pouring out. It's just something that, you know, leave a drip in the driveway type thing. So that has to be attended to at some point. Oh, one other thing on the Dakota. It's not the most exciting thing, but it's probably the most practical thing we're going to talk about in today's video. I have always had this truck, and I think the previous owner used it on the farm type scenario because they were on a ranch, and it was pretty much their ranch truck that they used, believe it or not. But this tailgate, it rattles like you would not believe. Like when you drive down the road, all you hear is this. So I've tightened it up as much as I can. But what I ultimately ended up figuring out is, and I'll show you guys more on the other video, there are some pads in here. I stuffed some more rubber-like material in there to try to tighten up the latches. But at the end of the day, see how much plate is in this? That rubber bushing is completely pounded out on both sides. And this rubber is hard as a rock underneath. You can see there's a little tab here. Hopefully you can see that, where you could change the rubber, but I don't even know where you would buy it. Same thing with this side. This bushing is completely pounded out. And then I needed one more bushing on this side. I replaced the one bushing on the other side, but this one, as you guys can probably see, oh, this one is tight. It's this side. And I'll tell you what this is in just a second. See how loose that is? So I'm trying to tighten up this tailgate so I don't have to listen to it bouncing on the road. If you're wondering what this is, it's just a cheap little theft deterrent. I've seen this before. You can actually buy fancier ones, but you just put a band clamp on it so somebody can't just rip off your tailgate if they want to. But maybe I shouldn't show you that. And the Viper. I guess I'll open the package for you guys and then I'll get into the discussion on this. But I ordered a bunch of stuff today for that. And let me talk a little bit more about that. Anyways, let's open this box. I'm excited to see what and how this looks inside. Ro hooked us up with this. Thanks again to Ro. Huge shout out to those guys. They're gonna support us and back us as much as they can on the Viper builds. Even though we already have most of the components, any little bit helps you guys. So thanks again to Scott over at ROE Racing. Let me go ahead, open this up, show you what's inside. All right, so let's pop this baby open. I already know what's inside, or what should be inside. All right, so here we go. And if you guys do or don't know what this is, I will tell you. So this is a jig, and what it's for is to pin the crank pulley to the crankshaft. So as you know, the blower is going to be running off of the crank pulley. So what this does is the original setup on the Viper, and actually even the newer 3rd gen Hemi engines, at least the Ram, the 5.7 that we pro-charged last, it's just like a pressed fit. It's just a snout that presses on, and it relies on the torque of that bolt to prevent the actual crank pulley from slipping. It's not a keyed crank. So what this does is it's a jig that you bolt up to the bolts for the crank pulley. Comes with a drill bit, and the jig allows you to drill through and into the front of your crankshaft. I know it might sound a little bit scary, but that's what this does. And then it allows you to drill that, and then it comes with the pin to insert. And obviously there's some instructions. So this is something we're going to be doing shortly, and this will allow us to bolt that supercharger up. So thanks again to Scott at ROE Racing for sending this. Huge shout out to him. He's gonna, we're gonna put this to use, and I appreciate any of the support that we do get. So thanks again. So what the plan is with all that, I just ordered a dual gauge pod for the Viper. So I ordered an Autometer dual gauge pod. You guys saw that I have the AEM air fuel ratio gauge with the wideband. So I got a wideband 02 with the gauge. The pod is coming for that. The only thing left to that whole puzzle is the boost gauge. So as you guys know, the way I afford a lot of stuff, I'm not like some sort of multi-millionaire. I just try to find deals and I acquire the parts that are needed for a lot of these things. The supercharger kit was used, that boost gauge was used, pretty much like those wheels on the Viper truck. were used. These wheels on the Viper car were used. Like nothing that you see here is brand new. So I kind of just, you know, acquire parts that I need for the build, and at the same time we switch over to another build while I resource all the parts, you know, that other people have, you know, are parting ways with. Like for example, that air fuel ratio gauge, I picked that up for $90, you guys. Meanwhile, that gauge is, I think, like $180 or so to buy. So just stuff like that. You guys can do the same thing, but I'm just letting you know how I afford all this. So what's next is, I'm hoping tomorrow or this week, I'm gonna get over to bulletproof coatings finally. Our schedules have been all over the place. As you can see, I'm probably almost sweating right now. It's still like well over 105 or 110 degrees. It's supposed to be a heat wave. I'm sure it is everywhere, but it's really hot here in SoCal. So I'm gonna get that stuff from Bulletproof. And then once I have that, I also ordered Lucas oil from Kenne Bell, like their specific formula, so we can put brand new oil in the supercharger. We're gonna be able to install this fairly quickly. I do have some maintenance items that I wanna get done on the Viper. I have silicone heater hoses, so we're gonna replace all the heater hoses along with a couple of those, just so that's all done and over with. And we're gonna be able to have this thing boosted, I think, in pretty short order. So I'm gonna do all the little maintenance item to the car. And so like I said, all those heater hoses, we'll get that crank pin set so that we can pin the crank pulley. And once that's done, you guys, it's gonna be able to go on in like a matter of a day. I don't think it's gonna be that involved. You just pull the intake off, and then the supercharger kind of lays in where the intake manifold comes off, and throw our injectors on, flash the car, and then all of a sudden the thing is boosted. So the only thing I will say with that is I'm not gonna go crazy with it, because the consequences of just going out and just smashing on it are huge. You know, if this, and especially with this, with it being an iron block, it's more resilient to detonation and stuff. This, with it being all aluminum and having cast pistons, if we go out and the tune isn't right, or it's like crazy hot like it is today, and we hit detonation, that motor is so we're only gonna be running about 6 psi. I'm gonna also have to try to figure out a methanol kit, which I don't know if we'll put it on initially. We'd probably get away with, you know, starting the car up and getting it running at least without methanol, but then we'll switch over. So that's pretty much the Viper project, and I kind of want to just keep you guys up to date on what all is going on. And then on this truck, like I said, not a whole lot going on. I should, let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see this, or if it's kind of just on the back burner. I do have those LED fog lights that are a direct replacement, replaces this whole thing. I hope I don't have to take the bumper off, because if I do, I'm probably not gonna do it anytime soon, but let me know if you guys want to see that video or not. But I do want to get those on there at some point. The only thing is they sent me chrome ones, and I really want to do the black housings like this. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Actually, maybe what I will do is comment down below, do you guys have a 3rd gen Ram? And what I'll do is I'll get the black ones on the way, and I'll do a giveaway on the chrome ones, because I really don't want to put all that work into it to put them on there, but I might test it out for you guys, and then I'll give away the chrome ones. But let me know if you guys are interested in that, or if there's a bunch of 3rd gen Ram guys on here watching it that could put those to use. And then let me know also in the comments, do you guys want to see LED lighting, interior stuff on this? I've pretty much done everything on the outside as far as LED lighting, with the exception of the brake lights. But are there 3rd gen Ram guys here that want to see the LED lighting mods on this? Drop me a comment down below and I can get on that. That's pretty simple to do, but it's just extra stuff amongst all these projects. As far as Jason's truck, his truck, like I said, most of it is done. Once the heat kind of knocks down, because I think everybody's trying to avoid being outside right now, including me right now, because I'm sweating. Once the heat dies down, we will end up working on his truck a little bit more. His truck is pretty much ready to go. There's always gonna be little things that we can do, same as any of these projects, but for the most part, it's running, it's driving. He's just gotta do some different stuff to, you know, finish all that and get it on the road. And then we'll be doing more road testing and all that stuff with his truck. So that's what's to come. And then he's gonna either send it off for paint or wrap. And then I also told you guys he's got different wheels for it. So a lot of stuff going on with his truck too, but there's just a million projects. But let me know what you guys think. Which project's your favorite project? What do you like to see the most? I need your feedback, because we have a million vehicles. I'm just running around just working on all of them, but I would like to know which one you guys like. I know a lot of guys like the Dakota, but how curious or interested are you guys in the Viper, or the Viper truck, or any of them? Let me know down below, you guys. It's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully, like I said, I can get the rest of the parts for the Viper. I'm kind of at a standstill right now because I need the valve covers so that I can put this back together so I can drive it back out. put it on the lift because I gotta drop the coolant and all that stuff to change all of the heater hoses. So that's where I'm at, because I mean technically I could push it and stuff, but we'll wait another day or so to get the valve covers, and then I can put the valve covers back on so that I can move it around. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to, it does help the channel and help this video get seen. Also hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.